Next on All Access.
I'm Dan Roach here at Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots will have to move on without one of their trusted veterans on offense.
I'm Scott Zolak, and I sit down with Jerod Mayo at the quarter pole, and he tells me what type of team he thinks he has.
I'm excited, just about the guys and their energy and consistency going forward.
Is it time for Drake May? I'll tell you why I think it's too early.
And I'm Steve Burton. Those stories plus tales from the tailgate.
I draw the line at face paint. I won't do that.
All Access begins right now. Another tough outing for the Patriots, who fall to 1-3 on the season. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Patriots All Access, presented by GEICO. I'm Steve Burton. The defending NFC champion 49ers proved to be too much to handle for New England, who struggled for the second straight week. Up next, the Patriots welcome a divisional foe to Gillette, the Miami Dolphins.
One over the middle. It's caught and gone on the run is Jalen Waddle. Touchdown, Miami.
Welcome to our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios, everyone. Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. I'm going to start with you because you said last week you're coming in big time with knives if we saw the same production that we saw a week ago.
Yeah, Steve, I think...
So what do you have, a machete?
I don't have a machete. I got some knives in the sense of they self-destructed more to me in this game than in the Jets game, Paul. I felt like the energy was low, their fundamentals were awful, and it was a short week. I think this was more of a case of they actually did some good things, but they made so many catastrophic mistakes at inopportune times. So it was more about that than, to me, what we saw against the Jets.
Yeah, I just thought there were too many mistakes, like Mike said, but just, you see the glaring difference when the other team's making mistakes and you're making mistakes and it's not close.
Yeah.
Because the Niners were far from perfect in this game with a lot of penalties. I thought a poor interception by Brock Purdy in the end zone on a late throw, underthrown. But it doesn't matter because they have a lot more talent to fall back on. Teams that are similarly banged up, but you can see the talent gap.
Which brings me to this question, Paul. With all the injuries now and the depth that this team has, do they have enough to compete going forward?
It's going to be tough, Steve. And I know that's hard to hear, I think, as we open October, Mike. But I really think you're looking at a situation where most weeks the other team, when you line up man for man and you sort of compare, you'd probably take the other side on a lot of different spots. Now, there's a lot of injuries going around the league, Mike. I think that's sort of levels the playing field a little bit. But the Patriots, no doubt, Steve, especially up front, they're dealing with a lot of injuries, and it's starting to take a toll.
And I think that because of that, their margin for error is so thin. You have to play a perfect game to win, and you have to play a certain style, right? Like run the ball, stop the run, and maybe make some plays on special teams, which has been maybe one of the bright spots that we've seen through the first 4 games of the season.
All right, let's talk about the first 2 games of the season, because the Patriots look like an okay football team. Not great, but okay.
Yeah.
These last 2 weeks, not so much.
Yeah.
What kind of team are they going forward? And is this what we expect to see the next 13 weeks of the season?
Well, I mean, I think it's hard because I think what Mike said is absolutely true. I think you've seen them in those first 2 weeks where they played exactly the way Mike talked about. You're running the football very well, over 170 rushing yards in both of those games. So you're controlling the ball, you're controlling the clock, you're shortening the game a little bit. You're avoiding the catastrophic mistakes. The turnovers weren't there. And you see how all of those things need to be in place just so you can compete.
That's right.
Because let's face it, 16-10 and then 23-20 in overtime, you split those 2 games really playing exactly the way you want to play.
Right.
It's hard to maintain that, Steve, and you saw that the next 2 games.
Yeah, you have to start by stop beating yourself, like you said, Paul, and we'll get into Drake May, I know, later in the show. Like, would that change the dynamic here? To me, the things they're missing are like a top receiver that can separate on the quarterback's first progression. I don't think that's coming through the door. I think Kendrick Bourne could help coming back, but I don't think he's that. And a top left tackle. I don't think that's coming through the door. regardless of who's playing quarterback. So I think it's going to be one of those things offensively, Steve, where they just have to string together long drives and try to avoid mistakes.
Okay, guys, don't go far because, Mike, as you mentioned, we will be talking about the quarterbacks and Drake May a little later on the show. We'll be back with more on Patriots All Access right after this.
Coming up on All Access.
Jerod Mayo on ball security.
It's a mentality at this point. It's an awareness at this point. It's really not much more to do about, technique or anything like that. It's just knowing, you're a target on a week after week basis.
Later, a conversation with the person who kicked the longest field goal in franchise history.
I'm just getting my feet wet here. Like I said, just trying to take care of what I can, and hopefully I can put myself in that same ring.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots. By Sports Illustrated Tickets, 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets, 0 fees. Fans deserve better. Visit SITickets.com today. And by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots.
Takes the snap. He looks down the middle. He's got a lot of time. Now he's going to roll to the near side. Purdy angles to the 15, to the 20, and he has a beat on a first down across the near sideline. Shotgun snap. Purdy has it. He has time. He throws it to the right back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Trying to find Jennings. Guarded well with the leverage inside by Marcus Jones.
Hey, that's it, dude. That's it.
This one from 22 near hash. Pepper snap, placed down by Wisnowski, and the kick is good.
Exactly. They're going to grab you, and he's going to roll out. We should have been off the field 3 times. 3 times, fellas. Keep him in the pocket. We can cover him on the back end. Honey, we can cover him on the back end. We're all right. We're all right. A lot of football left, fellas. A lot of football left. We're something good.
Joey Slye is going to attempt a 63-yard field goal. Cardona snap in Behringer's hands. A swing of the right leg, a line drive pick, headed toward the uprights, and the kick is good! Joey Slye! And the kick is aloft to the far side right. Handled that before on the run across the 5 to the 10 to the 15-20. And then a fumble, spinning past the 25-yard line. Another ball on the turf.
Got it.
Riders fumbled late first half and recovered. Here the Patriots recover this. Takes the snap, turns on the play, fakes Stevenson. He's got the tight end leaking out left, and Hooper makes the catch. He tumbles over the goal line. He's in for a touchdown. Patriots!
Hey, good series. Let's way to take advantage of the opportunity, right?
And the Niners defeat the Patriots about the 30-13 final score.
All right, welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time to sit down, talk to Jerod Mayo before the big Miami game. Before we talk about Miami, you guys had a tough one last week out in San Francisco. Leadership.
When things are rolling and going well, it's easy to lead.
That's right.
You find out about leaders when you hit patches of adversity. What kind of leader are you, and what have you learned?
I just try to remain steady, and I tell the guys all the time, you can't get too high, can't get too low. You know, after the first game of the season, you know, we go out there, we beat Cincy. At the time, they were, you know, projected to be a very good team, and you never really know going from season to season, but at the same time, I told the guys that this is unsustainable the way that we won that game, and we just have to continue to get better on a week after week basis. So you go to week 2, we lose a tight game to Seattle, and then we run into a buzzsaw in New York in game 3.
And look what happened to them.
Exactly, and look what happened to them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously this last game against San Fran was disappointing. And, you know, we just need guys to continue to chip at the rock, and at some point in time, you reach an inflection point that hopefully, you know, you start to become a good team. But look, we have a long way to go, and we knew that we knew that from the start, and I'm excited, you know, just about the guys and their energy and consistency going forward.
That's good. The energy's good. You could tell the energy was better the other day. Ball security is job security.
Yeah.
Old school coaches, they'd sit you down.
Yeah.
How do you handle it?
Same way. You know, I had a conversation with Ramondre, and you know, quite frankly, you know, this week he won't be starting, and I'll just be very upfront and, you know, very transparent. But he will play, and he understands that, you know, he has to protect the football going forward, and it's a mentality at this point. It's an awareness at this point. It's really not much more to do about, you know, technique or anything like that. It's just knowing, you know, you're a target on a week after week basis as soon as you show that you're going to put the ball on the ground.
All right. You get this question a ton. Tell me why now is not the right time to play Drake May.
Yeah, we're still going through the process as far as, you know, we're always evaluating those things. But as an organization at this point in time, we feel like, and ultimately it lands on me, I feel like Jacoby gives us our best chance to win today. Now, you know,
you're very clear on this.
Yeah, I want to be very clear, but at the same time, you know, people are like, well, you know, you should do this, you should do that. And it's not always going to be the popular thing to do. And, you know, as a head coach, you have to have that near-term vision and also that long-term vision. And it's not always going to be popular. And look, going into the season, I knew, you know, any team I would have went to, and even here, we're going to take our lumps. At the same time, I try to be consistent in my thinking.
People ask me, well, why didn't he put him in and get his feet wet at the end of this game if it was in hand, like he did the Thursday prior? I said, this game felt like it was a little tighter. Thursday felt, you know, that game was over.
No, for sure, and I feel the same.
That's why
way.
he didn't do it, right?
That's exactly right. And look, let me just, I'll take time to just, you know, not hype up, but look, Jacoby's out there, you know, he's been hit over 30 times in the last 2 games, and you know, he's just a guy who just continues to get up. His attitude is still good. And I understand the fans' frustration and things like that. But at this present time, I still believe that Jacoby gives us our best chance to win.
What was it that you learned or made a mistake that Thursday night game that you would change now?
So the Thursday night game is that this team is a team that has to practice. Like, we have to go out there on the field. We have to go out there on the field and practice. It can't be, you know, just walkthroughs. And on a short week, I mean, it's kind of hard to balance that, but we have to practice and we have to get better.
Monday Night Football, you sit at home. Do you TV scout? Are there things you can pick up on a TV broadcast? It's not the all 22, but you can see some things, right?
Yeah, you can
hear some things maybe.
No, I wouldn't, you know, not hear some things, because even as a player, I would watch, you know, those games and I would put it on mute. And I just like to watch the game, the different camera angles.
Some guys like snap counts.
I just don't. Yeah, but you can get that later on. I just don't want to hear the commentators.
Okay.
But yeah, I watched those games. I'm a fan of the game as well, and it was good to see Miami there live yesterday.
Get a chance to see Snoop Huntley on tape?
Yeah, you know, Huntley. Look, he's a solid player. Look, those guys as well. You know, they're still trying to figure out their identity, especially after losing their quarterback.
Time now for Ask Me Almost Anything, and this comes from Tom Shea. Wants to know, Jerod Mayo, what did you learn in business school or in the business world that you're now applying on an everyday basis coaching a football team?
Well, I would say, you know, and I tell the guys this all the time, no matter what industry you're in, whether you're in football or in business, but hard work works. And you can outwork 90% of people. Now, 10% of the people are just going to be better than you. You know, they're just like their parents were taller, faster, whatever it is in the athletic world, or their parents were smarter than your parents. But you can outwork the majority of people, and I still believe that here now.
All right, if you want to ask the coach a question, go to Patriots.com. Hashtag Ask the Coach. You're going to be back later in the show with a little bit of Mayo, right?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, hang tight. More Patriots All Access. We'll return right after this.
Welcome back to All Access presented by GEICO. With injuries mounting and depth concerns highlighted, can New England rally in front of their home fans this weekend? Dan Roach checks in on the Patriots.
They've lost 3 straight, been outscored 54-16 in the last 2 games, and the injuries are piling up. But don't feel sorry for this team.
I don't think it's time for the pity party. You know what I mean? I don't think we have time for a pity party, you know.
The Pats lost another captain this week, as David Andrews will have season-ending shoulder surgery.
Yeah, it's tough, man. That one hurt me. You know, one of the key reasons why I wanted to come back here because of my past relationship with him, and you know, it's tough when a guy like that goes down because, you know, he's not going down for anything minor.
For Jacoby and the offense, it's another next man up situation, and that will be 4-year veteran Nick Leverett.
He was a big leader on this team and still is a leader on this team, but, you know, obviously, you know, we wish he can be out there, and it's just, you know, putting it on our backs to make him proud.
The offense is not the only concern for this team. The vaunted Pats defense has given up 831 yards and 47 points in the last 2 games.
For the last 3 years I've been here, you know, we had a top 10 defense, and, you know, that shouldn't change, you know, just because we got rid of a couple guys. There's a couple guys not here. It's all still the same techniques, all still the same drills we do, and we just got to apply them on Sunday.
The good news, there are reinforcements on the way, as Kendrick Bourne, Marte Mapu, Cole Strange, and Sione Takitaki could return from the PUP list as soon as Sunday, as the Pats face a winnable game against the 1-3 Dolphins.
It's the fresh start. That's kind of what we've been preaching on, and it's a division opponent. So I mean, it's a big game. And get ready to go.
Now, the Patriots want to win Sunday badly for many reasons against the Dolphins, one of them being they were swept by Miami a year ago, and they've lost 8 of their last 10 to them overall. That hasn't happened since the early 1990s. Here in Foxborough for Patriots All Access, I'm Dan Roach.
All right, Dan Roach, thank you very much. Joining me now is Patriots kicker Joey Slye. Good to see you, my man.
How we doing?
We're doing well. We're
Good,
doing
man.
well. You're
Good.
doing well.
Not bad. Not bad.
How you feel here in New England? How's it been going for you since you made the transition?
Feel really welcomed. This team has a really good sense of family. Starts at the top with Mayo. And I think even above him with Mr. Kraft and his family as well. It's just been trickling down. I've been feeling really welcomed here. So,
you came here with no guarantees. You had a kicking battle in the preseason and in training camp. How'd that prepare you for the season?
For me, I mean, life not really been guaranteed a lot of things. And so coming in here, just being able to compete, that was the one thing I knew I got to do, and was just going to take advantage of it as best I could and kind of see what happens. So.
What is your pregame routine to test how far you can go?
I have my numbers that I have set up. I kind of have my, I start at the 1 hash, go 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, just bouncing back and forth. And then I hit a ball that's pretty clean from 50-ish plus and see how far that goes. And if I feel like I didn't really get to see how far that went, then I'll back it up to close to 60, 65. So.
Ooh. What do you think your max would have been in San Francisco? Because you kicked that 63-yarder with ease.
The 63 would have been probably good from 65, 66, and then the one later in the game I feel like was actually my better ball. So
really?
Yeah, the 54 felt a lot better off my foot for sure.
When you have to kick a 54-yarder or a 63-yarder, do you kick it differently?
No, just want to hit it as clean as I can, give myself an opportunity, and I know with my leg strength, within that 65 range, I should have a shot.
You know this franchise is known for kickers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Going back in time.
Yeah.
One is getting ready to go into the Hall of Fame. How much pride do you take in being part of a team that's been known for kickers?
I mean, for myself, I really like to just handle my own things, just take care of my own business, and just to be mentioned in the same category as Adam and Steven, it's huge. But, I mean, I'm just getting my feet wet here. Like I said, just trying to take care of what I can, and hopefully I can put myself in that same ring. So.
Okay, here's where I'm going with this. You're jacked.
Yeah.
I mean,
I appreciate it.
I mean, you look like a football player.
I appreciate that.
I mean, kickers aren't built like you.
Adam was the same way. So I mean,
yeah, Adam, you're bigger than Adam. I'm telling you right now, you got bigger arms than Adam. Adam was the same. Adam had some speed too.
Oh, he was an athlete in the weight room as well. So I don't have as much athleticism, so I'll try to make up for it for strength.
As a matter of fact, Adam ran down Herschel Walker.
Oh yeah, he's fast, man. I'm not as fast. Last time I ran, I tore my hamstring, so I'm not doing that anytime soon.
Hey, my man,
It's
give me
great
this.
meeting
Give me one of these. Yeah, you got some
You
guns.
can pop out of your jacket too right now.
Hey, good luck on Sunday against Miami.
I appreciate it.
You got it, my man.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time now for the Player Spotlight. Now, what we do in this segment is take a look at players making winning plays throughout the course of the game. And you got Jeremy Springer, special teams coach here. Coach, I did the radio call. 3 standing ovations for me for your units. I haven't done that in a special teams unit play, and I don't know, over 8 years. So we're going to take a look at 3 really big plays, starting with your big weapon, your punter, Bryce Behringer.
Yeah, man, I'm going to talk about, a couple things here. As you look at the play, you can look at these gunners right here, and we call these guys gunners, but you got Schooler over here, who's a hell of a player for us, all-pro guy, and then you got a rookie down here in 27 in Dial, and you just look at the effort that they're going to give. It's a lot of times you're looking at Behringer, but at the same time, like looking at these guys fighting, like my man's fighting down the sideline right there. You got 27 right there who's going to push the guy down the field. So again, those kind of plays right there help our punt look even better. But at the same time, you can see the type of punt that we get right here. Very, good 50-plus yard punt, 5-0 hang time, so it allows the rest of our guys to run underneath and go make a play here. And you look from behind, okay, our communication's pretty good here. And you watch Behringer, this type of punt, right, his operation, really good snap, good operation, good 1-2 step, gets it out of his hands quickly. And again, with a distance like that, with about 50-plus yards, 5-0 hang time, it allows these guys to get down the field, set up in coverage right there, and then again, keep the ball inside and front. And again, good things happen. You do that right there, hang the distances really well. And again, Gunners are winning right there. That's what's going to happen at the end of the day.
And you look at the yardage to start the game, inside the 14, inside the 10. And when the offense doesn't have it cranked up, but your defense is cooking a little bit, that's pretty good flipping field position, right?
That's what we're trying to do right there.
Okay.
Our job from a punter perspective, from a punt coverage standpoint, is to help our defense. And that's what we're trying to do, flip the field. And if our punter can execute, our gunners can execute, and our coverage can execute, we can do that every play.
All right, Coach, to start the second half, first half, you guys are booming the ball through it. When you watch Joey Slye kick the ball, you can tell it's going to be a touchback. This one falls short. Intentional, right?
Mm-hmm, yes, sir.
You want this ball in play.
Yep.
Did you see something you could say, we could pull them or we could get them down on the 10, 15-yard line? And has there been a tendency for them to fumble the football?
For us, as we look at kickoff, it's like, where can we pick and choose our battles? I don't know if we want to cover every single kick because, again, because of the way this new rule is, if you're covering every kick, sometimes it gets past that first line of defense and it could be dicey for you. So on this one, we just felt like we had some confidence going into the second half. We had some momentum after a big field goal where we think we can cover it. They had a guy back there who was a rookie, and we knew that. So we're like, let's just test him out. So, we go ahead and say, hey, let's 3-step this right here. Let's get into the field of play and let's see what our guys can do. And as you watch this play, I think our left side does a phenomenal job of just playing within the rules of our coverage. And a guy I want to highlight right here is number 53, okay? He's going to come down right here. He's going to get into a 2-gap situation, play with really good leverage right here, and knock his man into the running back right here, or the returner, I should say, force this fumble right here. And not only that, but has the focus to really jump on this ball right here and go recover the ball. And what I really like to see is guys around the pile trying to get in on the action, right? You got Quan right there. You got 41 trying to jump in. You can see him right there, still trying to get this ball. But to open up a half like that, to create more momentum for our team, again, it's like I talked on Pump Pro. What we're trying to do is help the offense, help the defense out. That's our job, and that's what we're doing here.
It's almost like the double score. You get the field goal, as you mentioned. Okay, we got 3. We're still trailing. Bang, we get a short field to go down. Jacoby throws a touchdown. Yep. Now it's 20 to 10. Now we got a ball game.
No doubt, and the game's never over. I mean, I don't care what the score is. There's a lot of games we show every week to our guys, and I thought our guys believed that out of the half, and we made it happen coming out of the half, which was really good to see.
Right, good stuff there. Okay, before the half, there was a kick, 63 yards, franchise record. We've had some pretty darn good kickers here. Joey Slye, before the game, what is his range? How do you even have a feel on a day like today? We got a shot at a 63-yarder if we could do it.
It's pregame, plain and simple. You watch him go through warm-ups, and he always gives you a yard line. Hey, end of the half, you got to have this situation. This is where I feel good from.
And he tells you, too, like, hey, I feel pretty good today, right?
Yeah, I tell him, and then I go to Mayo, I go to our guys, and like, all right, this is where we feel good about it. He's kicking really well today. If we get this opportunity, let's roll with it.
Okay, walk us through it.
Yeah, so you can see right here, end of the half situation, they got a returner back in this situation because it is a 63-yard field goal. So pretty much we've alerted our guys, hey, it's a returner back situation. So if this is missed or short, we got to get out and cover. But nonetheless, man, the big man, gets the ball back there. Great snap, great hold. Again, you can never take away the importance of this operation here or the important operation of these guys right here. I mean, in order to get a ball like this off, you have to be really stout in protection. And when you look at a field goal protection, it's always, you always think, man, it's close, but it's always that way because, again, these guys are coming off the edges. It's a tight space. But, again, Joey Slye right here, he's locked in. Great snap, great hold, great footwork there. Swings through the ball hard right there, gets the ball up fast, good rotation on the ball. And, hey, he's a strong guy, strong leg. There's a reason why he's always in our locker room working out or just taking over his body because he's prepared himself for these situations like this.
You play golf, right?
Yeah, I do.
Choke down 3, right?
There it is, right there.
Choke
yes,
down
sir.
3. And it gives you 3 points going in, a little bit of momentum.
No doubt. Yes, sir.
All right, great stuff, man. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming in for the first time.
Thank you very much, sir.
There you go. More Patriots All Access. We'll return right after this.
Coming up on All Access.
Plus, our latest installment of Tales from the Tailgate.
Brian, what's up, man? I'm Brian Hoyer.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
He wanted to bring you, surprise you with some Bud Light.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Gillette Labs with Exfoliating Bar, Gillette's ultimate shaving experience.
Welcome back to All Access presented by GEICO. One of the great aspects of attending an NFL game is the tailgating. Here in Foxborough, Patriots fans take this seriously. In our first installment of Tales from the Tailgate, presented by Bud Light, we introduce you to Bruce McGinnis of Norfolk, Massachusetts. A financial systems manager by day, the tailgate experience transforms Bruce into quite the passionate Patriots fan.
What I do is I'm a financial systems manager. It came to me that I'm always buying a new jersey every time somebody leaves town. I got tired of buying new jerseys. So I said, the hell with it, I'm gonna go full Paul Revere. You know, some people are into like skydiving or mountain climbing or some other expensive sport or skiing or something, you know. It's a pretty big part of my life. Like I draw the line at face paint, I won't do that. Let's show you the bus. So we built the bus and bought it in 22, late 22, worked on it all last year in 2023. We have some nice LED lights, nice loud horn. I really enjoy being around people, being around friends. And that's kind of why I kept this going after the first one died. You know, I didn't wanna let all that go. It's very heavy.
Oh, please.
All right there, Superman. Hold they're boat flag mounts.
You know what? We're just gonna go right in here.
That's what started it for me, actually. It was tailgating, going and hanging out with all my friends in the parking lot. I liked that before I really liked football, to be honest.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Made a lot of friends, kept a lot of friends over the years. Always meeting new people, too.
Let's go back! Let's go!
I have some Jets toilet paper in case the farts go wrong.
We're going to the Jets on Thursday. We're gonna drive down Thursday morning, tailgate, go to the game, drive home Friday morning. Probably be gone about 30 hours. Actually, we got an open spot. You wanna come?
MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Oh yeah, you gotta expect that. Met them in 2019. Ever since then, they save a spot for us so we can tailgate with them. Great group of guys from Long Island. They talk funny, but you know, they're all right otherwise.
Let's the party together.
J-E-T-S,
True story. One of my ancestors fought at Bunker Hill. Brian Hoyer came.
Brian, what's up, man? I'm Brian Hoyer.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
We wanted to bring you, surprise you with some Bud Light.
Well, thanks very much.
I'm gonna hang out for a little bit if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Have something to eat.
Thank you.
Oh! Yeah, there's a mess of beer in there.
I like you even got the authentic cup.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Told me it was his first tailgate party ever. Never been to a tailgate party?
I've been playing for 20 years.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And then he signed the inside of the bus for me. He has a very, very elegant signature.
The Bud Light in the cup. Cheers.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, sir. Well, I've always been kind of a social animal. I like that it brings people together, you know. Whether it's people I know or people I don't know, I don't care, you know. As long as everybody's having a good time, it makes me happy.
Our next gen stat of the week, brought to you by AWS. Christian Gonzalez lined up against Brandon Ayuk on 52% of his routes. Ayuk managed just 1 reception for 10 yards on 2 targets, with Gonzalez as the nearest defender. Gonzalez allowed just 2 receptions for 12 yards on 5 total targets as the nearest defender.
You've heard the old saying, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. Natick High School was down 7-0 to Milford and scored 28 unanswered points to secure the victory, which paved the way for Coach Mortarelli to be this week's Coach of the Week.
Well, I think Coach Mort should definitely be Coach of the Week. Can't just be narrowed down to this last week.
Every practice he pushes us to be better and better, leads the offense, defense, special teams, and he really wants us, you know, be a good team and try to go 8-1, you know, not lose another game.
The Redhawks, congratulations. Great win. What are you guys, 3-1? Coach, on behalf of Kraft Family, New England Patriots Charitable Foundation, we want to present you with this week's Coach of the Week.
Thank you very much.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you. It only happens after a big win, so congratulations, guys. Thank all you guys for the hard work. I appreciate it. Keep it rolling.
Let it go 3. 1, 2, 3. Heading.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time now for a little side of Mayo, brought to you by Hellman's. Booth review. We had a game on Sunday, and there were several times where we had replay. And I'm sitting up there in the booth, the monitor's down, then the monitor's working, then it's down, then it's working. What is your system on game day for booth review, for throwing the red flag, for challenging, for not challenging?
Yeah.
What's the process?
You know, I would say, first of all, they have the, you know, expedited reviews as well, where, you know, the NFL could just call down and change a play. So you wait for, you know, if it's something that's questionable, you kind of wait for them at first, and then there are certain times where, like, they're not going to review it, and I just throw the flag. Now, I talk to Evan all the time, and
so Evan Rothstein.
Yeah, and so because up in the booth, you just have a different perspective of things, and he can see the different views on the TV. But that's the process. You know, I have a conversation with Evan, and hopefully the players. I always tell the players too, like, be honest. Like, don't. Did you catch it? Did you catch it or not? If you didn't catch it, just don't say anything. If you really did, then say something. But it's a good process.
I think body language is really good to look at too.
Yeah, but
you
can kind of
freak out if they.
No, you can fake the body language thing about that. But even like the review, the red flag that I threw this past game, that was more just a momentum type of You know, it was third down, and I was like, you know what, maybe we can get it. The ball moved a little bit, but, you know, it was one of those 50-50 type of plays.
And you do carry almost double the coaches. You don't want 20 guys screaming in your ear.
Oh, that's right, and that's why you want to go to a channel where it's quiet, and that's what I do.
What channel's got some jazz on there?
Oh, no jazz.
It's funny you said you could hear on those things. It's noise canceling on
Noise
game day.
canceling.
Amazing.
Noise canceling.
All right, good luck against Miami, buddy.
I appreciate you.
Big divisional game. All right, there's your side of Mayo. More Patriots All Access. We'll return right after this.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots. By Sports Illustrated Tickets, 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. 0 fees. Fans deserve better. Visit SITickets.com today. And by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access, everyone. At Bob's Conference Studios, back with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. You heard Jerod Mayo tell Scott Zolak, Drake May, not his time yet. Now's not the time. Why do you think he's saying that? And before I get to when is the time, why do you think he's saying that?
I just think that he doesn't feel like he's ready. And that's something that's tough for Mike and I and the rest of our colleagues to sort of identify, because we don't get a chance to see him in meetings and going over the films and sort of preparing with game plans and whatnot. That's the mental stuff that we do not have access to, Mike, and we have no way of knowing. I've been a play May guy. I think at some point you need to figure out what you have in the 3rd overall pick. One thing that I'll throw into that is the status of David Andrews, which I think he's a really, really important guy in that protection up front, Mike, not just physically, but mentally making all the calls. Maybe I can be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, and I think the center-quarterback relationship, there's nothing, no one's closer to the quarterback, right, than the center, to Paul's point. And I do wonder, Paul, and I know you don't necessarily feel the same way, how much the coaching staff is looking at this and saying, when Jacoby Brissett drops back to pass, the picture that he's seeing in front of him is not the type of picture that we want to put in front of Drake May. And when I say that, I mean the receivers. Are they open? More often than not, the first one or the second one isn't. Is the protection in front of him keeping the rushers away? More often than not, no. Do we want to protect Drake May right now from seeing that same picture? I wonder if that's part of the thinking as well.
Yeah, I agree with him. I'm wondering if that's big picture-wise as well, because my question is, there's never going to be a perfect time. John Hanna's not walking through the door. Jerry Rice is not walking through that door. I mean, who are you going to surround him with?
It's like we're switching, Steve. You just answered that. That's exactly what would be my answer to the question. When are all of these things? And what everything Mike just said is 1,000% true. But when are all those things going to be in place? And if we have to wait until they are, I mean, is his rookie contract going to expire? And I'm being sarcastic, but you know, at some point, I want to find out what kind of talent the guy has. And part of finding out what kind of talent he has is how he deals with less than ideal circumstances. So I do think there's a benefit to it. Totally understand where Mike, Steve, and you guys are coming from. And like I said, I can be a little bit more patient just given the amount of hits that Brissett is taking and the amount of hits that offensive line is taking physically.
And I do think, Paul, that he will play at some point this season. I feel confident that that'll happen, whether it's by injury. I mean, Jacoby's taken 40 hits in 4 games. That's unsustainable to me. Or just by decision. I think the way I'm looking at it is like how much runway is left in a season.
Yeah.
Because you put him in at the halfway point, okay, you got a half season to evaluate him. And if things turn, you can protect him in certain ways where there's not so much left in the season where his confidence could go down, and that's sort of what I'm looking at as they measure it out, just sort of picking that spot of, is it half the season left? Is it a quarter of the season left? That might be part of the consideration.
Patriots need a win.
They do.
They need a win, okay? Guess who's coming to town? The 1-3 Miami Dolphins. Good spot for them to be in?
Yeah, it's a team that has not had a lead yet.
Wow.
The first game of the year, they won on a walk-off field goal. So other than that, they haven't had the lead at all in any of the games. So, yes, it's a great spot, I think, to get right. But, both teams are really searching for offense. They're 31 and 32, Mike, in points scored. So, You know, I'm sure Miami's looking at it the same way.
And Miami doesn't have Tua.
I was going to say, are you saying the scoreboard operator might be able to take this Sunday off, Paul?
Extended coffee break.
Wow.
No, and I agree. I think for the Patriots, though, one concern I would have, as much as they've struggled offensively, still got Tyreek Hill, still have Waddle over there, and you've given up big plays defensively.
Great point.
So prove that you no longer give up big plays, even though, you know, the quarterback throwing the ball is a big issue there in Miami.
That being said, prediction.
Yeah, I think it's not going to be one of those that you're going to send to Canton when it's over. I just don't see a lot of points being put on the board. Sloppy game. You know, watching the Dolphins play Monday night, I mean, that was not good football on either side. I think the Patriots have just enough to get by. I'm going to go 13-9, New England.
And I'm giving the Patriots a win, 17-14. And like Paul said, a lower scoring game, maybe even special teams defense gets you some points to get the scoreboard operator a little action there.
Hey, wake up.
So both of you guys are saying by the end of this, they'll be 2-3.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
We assume you agree.
Big time.
Yes.
Right. Ditto.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, guys. That'll do it for this week's edition of Patriots All Access. To Mike Weiss and Paul Perron, I'm Steve Burton. Have a great week, everybody.